So, a couple of months ago, I watched a video from a WoW veteran that claimed he was done with World of Warcraft. He had enough, he did it all, and now he's gone for good. So today, I opened my YouTube feed searching for a little something interesting to watch, and what do I find there? A video of the same person returning to the jaws of Blizzard. Incredible, isn't it? It's like WoW players never quit. It's so funny that even a guy who made a whole video about why he's done with World of Warcraft is returning just 2 months later. It's wonderful. And the irony doesn't spare me either, because I quit the game for 6 years and I recently returned to try out Midnight. Now granted, I kinda did it to make fun of Blizzard and try the game out for myself, but most importantly just so I have a newer point of comparison when I constantly talk about World of Warcraft. I think it's very important to be, to have my integrity and actually know what I'm talking about. So I'm doing a little research while I'm doing that, but still, I have tried out the game again, so I guess it's kind of on me. But you know what? It's hilarious to see other people do it as well. WoW players are just addicts, and nothing can make me change my mind on that.
I ended up canceling my World of Warcraft subscription. I don't have an active subscription in this video game. I no longer feel interested in playing World of Warcraft.
I wonder why you came back.
Those were all statements that I said in a previous video 2 months ago.
Oh.
And since then, I've been playing a lot of different video games. But as the weeks went by, I started to miss the world of Azeroth. I mean, come on. I didn't even make it to level 60 in Classic WoW.
God, bro.
Now I know some of you probably saw my last video, and now you're thinking to yourselves,
So that was a lie. Nope.
and even though I did quit for 2 months, you know what they say.
WoW players
Nobody
never
quits
quit.
WoW. They just take breaks.
Oh, this is so facts, bro. WoW players are a bunch of addicts. Guys, I'm always saying that, and I'm always proven right. That's the beauty of it. I mean, I guess no other MMO can scratch the WoW itch, and it's so unfortunate. It really is, because we deserve better, right? Like, WoW players are constantly being beaten with the same old stick. Come on, like, please, someone save us. Ashes of Creation crumbled, right? It was a scam. New World is gone. So there's nothing really else to play other than Guild Wars 2, which is horizontal and it doesn't fit everyone, and FF14, which again is so outdated you can play it on your phone. It's literally a game that works on PS3. So at the end of the day, like, nothing beats WoW for us, and it's so unfortunate, man. Oh god, it just we always go it's like, it's toxic relationship. We can't get rid of it. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I started playing World of Warcraft again. But come on, do you blame me? Like, try watching Fellowship of the Ring and not thinking to yourself, wait a second.
You gotta watch this again.
Humans? Dwarves? Elves? This is kind of like the vibe that I get when I join a party for a raid or dungeon in World of Warcraft. And of course, there's that one guy who always dies,
Bro.
but he steals all the loot. So when he joins your party again the next time, he's looking really geared. He's super leveled out. Like, yeah, we all know what Gandalf did back in the day. But let's get...
Also, don't forget that World of Warcraft was literally built on Lord of the Rings lore. Everyone knows that. Everyone who was present at Blizzard Entertainment at the time did that on purpose. There are literally quests inside of the game that refers to Lord of the Rings. Straight up. Like, you had the One Ring quest. That was its name, right? So, yeah, you have plenty of references in classic World of Warcraft to Lord of the Ring. Everyone knows that. Like, it's a well-known fact.
back on track. I started to miss...
Yeah, like, again, places like Don Moreau, all of that stuff. There's so many. Like, I'm not gonna name everything. You can look it up yourself. But obviously, the game was built on top of Lord of the Ring, like, fanboys.
World of Warcraft. And
thank God for
probably
that.
do too. In today's video, I'm going to chat about that World of Warcraft itch that everyone seems to get every couple of months and why...
Oh my god! I'm sorry for pausing, okay? I'm sorry for pausing. I'm gonna stop that. But, oh my god, it's so... I haven't pre-watched this. On the life of me, I didn't pre-watch this. It's just so funny to see that WoW players are such degenerates. We all think the same. We literally share a singular brain cell. We're a hive mind.
Chase after this feeling of getting lost in the world of Azeroth. You might not be able to recapitulate that feeling again, but well, I'll be able to do that because, well, it's green screened out, but I've never played TBC. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it.
Damn.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember the first time you started playing World of Warcraft? What class did you pick, and what was the expansion you played first? For me, it actually is quite recently. I started playing the game in 2023. I know a lot of my IRL friends laugh at me whenever I say this, but I'm gonna say it again. I didn't play these games growing up. My parents didn't.
Wait, I thought he played way earlier because he said something like that in his previous video. Maybe I'm confusing? Maybe I'm confusing him with someone else? I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure he played way before that. By the way, for me, I started playing in Warlords of Draenor because that's the expansion that was available at the time when I first got my credit card. Because I was 18. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Just goes to show how much time has passed. Jesus, man, I'm old. But, yeah, basically, my parents never bought anything for me online because they were afraid to put their credit card details over there because they thought the internet was malicious. And the moment they put their information out there, everything's gonna get stolen. It's so funny. To be honest, they were kind of right, but more for this day and age, not back in the day. So it's kind of funny. Whenever I got my credit card, I went a little bit of a splurge and bought a lot of games on Steam that were in discount. Oh, it was such a great time. I enjoyed that. Yeah, and of course I purchased World of Warcraft. It was incredible.
Allow me, so I didn't get to play classic WoW.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible Worlds of Draenor. The feeling of purchasing was incredible.
TBC, none of that. And if you're someone that played the game back in those days, then you're probably not shutting up about how amazing that time of playing World of Warcraft was. It was peak WoW. It'll never be the same. You missed out on the best version of WoW. I get it.
Dad, please go back to the couch. Mom, he's saying this again. Oh, man. Oh, God. Nah, not this.
I'm sad that I don't get to experience it. However, with TBC re-releasing on the classic anniversary realms, that gives me a perfect excuse to at least try TBC. But I'm gonna go the step further. I want to experience this expansion how you probably did if you played back then. Whatever, in 2006, 2007? When did TBC come out? I don't even know. But back then, there was no ChatGPT that you could be like, all right, what's the best way to optimize my leveling path? And how can I get to 70 really quickly? There wasn't thousands of YouTube videos to figure out the dungeon and raid mechanics and how you do all this. What if I approach World of Warcraft like an MMORPG, talking to players in the video game, actually communicating within in-game chat and making conversations? That is something I miss in MMORPGs and why I got so attached to them as a child and teenager. A lot of us just use Discord to kind of communicate, and that's fine, but I want to try and use game chat as much as I can. But see, there's a reason why.
Use Ventrilo. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's gone. But you know what? It's actually kind of funny that he's the second person that I watched this week who says the exact same thing. Like, no add-ons. I just want to play this game as it was intended, and I actually respect that. That's admirable. I like that. I played with Questy because I think it saves a lot of time, and nowadays time is something that I lack severely. So obviously saving time is good for me. But if I had the option to play without add-ons, I would have definitely liked that. I think it's great. It definitely enhances the immersion and naturally goes you into talking with other players and experience the world for yourself. I actually really like that. Of course, reading the quest and all of that stuff. So it's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I admire people who actually go that route, even though it's very difficult. And unfortunately, everyone you're going to play with is using add-ons, so probably it would lead to some clashing. But at the same time, like, kudos to you, honestly.
TBC
You're doing
has
it right.
been in my mind, especially after I quit World of Warcraft, because on my shelves in the background, there was laying this. I know it's being green screened out, but it's the guidebook for TBC. Why do I own this?
It's beautiful.
Well,
Man, I hate the fact, again, guys, so sorry for pausing. I have just so much to say. I really miss the old guides you got with video games. It was so good. It was truly so good. Like hard CDs, all of that stuff, man. I mean, my cousins used to have Warcraft on a CD. It's incredible. There's no other feeling like it. It's just amazing. I really wish we had that back. I do have Legion because I bought it, like physical copy, but there is no CD. There's just like a code over there. It's like, nah. But the cover art is pretty cool of like Illidan. That's dope. So I saved it for that. But I mean, I just miss the old stuff, the old guides. Now you have everything online and everything is just dead on mind. It's so annoying, man. It really is infuriating. We lost every ounce of expectation we once had. And there's no mystery anymore. Everything's just cracked the first moment it comes to PTR.
Here, one of my friends who I played a lot of MMORPGs with him, he was having a wedding and he invited me out there to attend his wedding. And during that time, I went to a vintage game store with another childhood friend. And during that time, we were walking through the game store and I found the TBC guidebook for no price tag on it.
Look how
So I
thick
walked
that
up to the
is.
counter. I'm like, how much for the
Holy.
guidebook? And he was like, $2. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to buy
Oh.
this guidebook and I'm going to give it to a friend in the States who really likes World of Warcraft. And lo and behold, I didn't know that that friend moved out of the town he used to live in for a majority of his life. Sorry, Stubbins, I really tried to give you this guidebook, but I went home with it. And it sat on my shelf for a really long time. And I thought to myself, wait a second,
Damn.
if I jump into the Burning Crusade and I have no idea what I'm doing, right? Maybe I'm tired and I'm not streaming, so I'm not playing with other folks or guildies. I'm gonna need some wisdom. And perhaps instead of using ChatGPT, I can actually go through and do a little bit of reading and actually
wonder
figure
what's
out
in there,
where
actually.
I'm at, what kind of skills I can use on my paladin, all of it. That's gonna take me back to that 2006, 2007. When did TBC come out? I don't know. But it's gonna take me back to that day and age where that's probably how a lot of people felt when they played TBC. They didn't use ChatGPT. They didn't watch these YouTube videos that are super edited with a bunch of things going around to keep your retention going. Are you still watching the video? Because if so, I guess my editing skills are not too shabby, eh? But yeah, I want to approach
Nah, they're
TBC
good.
that way. And I'm super excited to try it out. I think it's going to be a blast. Am I going to fail and waste a lot of hours doing stuff that probably isn't beneficial? Sure.
100%. But that's the fun part. I mean, it's not really a waste of time if you're enjoying it. Like, that's the good thing. I mean, I know that a lot of retail Andes love to clown on classic Andes because it's like, oh, you're wasting so much time without a mount. You don't have a flying mount, whatever. Like, but who cares, nerd? I love walking on the ground. It's fun for me. I love experiencing the zones that I'm at. Like, well, retail Andes are so lost. You can't even speak any sort of sense into their singular brain. It's just so cringe. I mean, it is what it is, man. They're gone. Blizzard intentionally cultivates these type of audience for, you know, keeping the Labubu money incoming, but it's so cringe.
Yeah, but man, I'm
Like
going to
the
go into
income,
an
yeah.
expansion being completely blind. You might say that I'm not prepared.
Oh, I
All right,
get it.
Yeah, enough with the TBC jokes. But what about retail? Am I going to play that eventually? Of course, I will not downplay a version of World of Warcraft. I'm excited for Midnight, but I do like the pace that
No, you should downplay that because it's a subpar product. You shouldn't give them like the benefit of the doubt because they released a new expansion. Like, no, you should try it out for yourself and judge. And after you judge, you should lay out your judgment, which is probably going to be severe because the expansion looks kind of cringe. I don't know, but I need to still reach it. Right now I'm doing the horrendous leveling experience that new players actually have to go through, and oh my god, Dragonflight literally saps the life force out of me. There's almost nothing left. At the end of Dragonflight, I'm most likely going to be a husk on a chair. It's so annoying. I cannot do, for the life of me, another quest saving baby dragons. Like, oh, look how cute he is. And I literally had to take pictures of whelps yesterday inside of World of Warcraft. That was a quest. It was so atrocious. I'm almost done, dude. Like I'm just blazing through the levels. I cannot wait to actually reach midnight.
At Classic gives. And if you take a look at my other video when I talk about how I was quitting World of Warcraft, most of my issues about the game were typically around the retail version of the game. There's too much monetization out there, right? It feels like everyone's kind of scavenging around and spread out within the game world. And of course, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the instance PvP, but Classic, it's open world PvP. It's not instance per se. So you can run around and kind of have to check over your shoulders to see if the coast is clear. And I do like that.
And also, just generally speaking, the world is much simpler and easier to understand, which is good for new players because it seems like maybe he's like new to, well, I guess he's new to Classic and he kind of knows his way about retail. But if you haven't played the previous expansions, which he mentioned he hadn't, so I completely understand why Classic would be just more digestible for him. Because if I go into retail, I already know where each zone is, but a new player won't, and he won't know the lore, and nowadays retail WoW is just a hodgepodge of expansions. It's just too much, and there's no clear line you can walk through, and Blizzard just lays out Chromie as a band-aid fix, like it's gonna do anything for new players. They don't understand that they even need to speak with her in the first place. It's such a garbage trash system, and Blizzard isn't going to do anything to change that. They should make players, literally force them to go through all of the expansions, but only do it once. Literally once per character. Now, if they want to have ults, they can do it on the same character. They don't have to go through the expansions. They don't have to do any of that. But for the first time, when someone purchases World of Warcraft, they have to go in a straight line through everything. I think that would be the most fun way to play. FF14 does it, and it's perfect. It's phenomenal. I love that system. Maybe it can be implemented differently, but players do need to have that experience. They need to go through all of the expansions to actually understand, because when you land players directly into Dragonflight and then you introduce them to the recap book, like I don't know what the hell it is, like it feels like the Necronomicon because it's so horrible, but it's not a solution. It's not contributing to anything. They just skip the lore and nothing sticks. So there's no point in doing so. They should go the FF14 route. I played this game for 6 months and I enjoyed it so much. I really wish WoW would learn from that.
Not a lot of monetization within Classic. You do have the boosty boys and the boosted mount, but hey, I'm not a boosty boy, all right? And when it comes to Classic, that TBC experience, everyone talks about how awesome it is. It's so exciting, the raids, the zone that you get to explore. Like, we're not even on the world of Azeroth, I guess. We're on some different planet that I've never really been to. And you might be thinking, well, wait a second, Moopless, didn't you play retail WoW? You probably went to the TBC area. For the most part, there's not really cool mounts or transmogs that I know of in TBC. Maybe I did venture out there once or twice, but I really don't remember it. If I remember anything about the base version of the game, it's that I went to the Wrath of the Lich King expansion to try to kill the Lich King numerous times to get the Invincible mount, which I still don't have. And that's the only thing I really remember about the base zones of vanilla, so to speak. So yeah, TBC, we're entering this completely blind. I'm really excited. How can you approach this the same way I am? Well, if you've never played TBC, go into it with the same perspective, and if you had played TBC, well, you're out of luck, buddy. Bruh. You know, good luck. No, I'm teasing, right? You can enter this expansion maybe by playing a different class that you didn't play back in the day. So you're not really well versed in all the skills and whatnot, and you'll probably have to do some research like I'm doing to figure out how to make a good class build, right? What weapons should I utilize? How do I play within a party? Maybe you were DPS before. Cool. Why don't you try healing or tanking in the game? There's many different ways that
I just play Orc Warrior whenever I can. That's my solution. Just literally play retail, Orc Warrior. Play World of Warcraft from 20 plus years ago, Orc Warrior. It always works. Always.
You can kind of tweak and adjust your playstyle to make it different and feel a little bit more engaging than just playing the same class, the same expansion that you did 20 plus years ago, or whenever TBC came out. It's good to make goals when you play an MMORPG, so the goal that I have when it comes to playing Burning Crusade, and it's a very simple goal, I want to take down Illidan. I gotta do it at least once, and that will wrap up my TBC experience in a nutshell. If you want to jump into TBC with me and you're looking for a guild, I do have the Leroy Jenkins Guild, Pals for Life. You can get the cool tabard that Leroy wore back in the day, and you can walk around the expansion knowing you're taking a little piece of history with you. Special thanks to my Patreon and YouTube members for...
Okay, so it seems to be the end of the video. I mean, to be honest, it was funny, but I completely understand where he's coming from. WoW players can never quit World of Warcraft. I understand. But that being said, he did quit retail and moved into Classic, which is very different. So it's not really like he broke his promise to never touch WoW again. He's technically still doing that because retail is such a completely different version of the game. You can honestly put these two games on a completely different scale. I mean, it's World of Warcraft technically, yes, but it's just such a different experience. So I understand where he's coming from because all of the problems he had were with retail. It wasn't really about Classic. So I'm glad he's given it another go. That being said, it's funny. I mean, WoW players can never truly quit. The game is just too fun, man. It is what it is.